Salute to you guys pulling up. Raiders Primos is back. Who's to blame for this 1-3 start? What's going on, you guys? Raiders Primos back again. Raider Ed. I'm going to be doing a solo show. Raider Nate, you guys, is enjoying his vacation up in Hawaii. So prayers to him, that he has a safe trip and that, he gets home safe. Because I know we're going to miss the brother. We're going to miss my Primo Nate. But I'm going to solo it tonight, you guys. Thank you guys for rocking me. Thank you guys for pulling up. I seen my guys, Big Mike and Andy, they're over there doing a film breakdown. We got Graph and Wasted in about 30 minutes at 7. I'm going to try to make this live a little bit quick because I don't want to overlap their show, what they got going on. And also, I want to go rock with them as well and be in that chat and just enjoy the greatness of Raiders contents that, they have been doing for what they've been doing so far. They have been doing absolutely GOAT things. And I'm hoping, I appreciate their support and their guidance that they have given to Raiders Primos. I'm telling you guys right now, Raiders Primos will not be what it is without them, those guys, because they have, given us, guidance and, tips of how to make these live shows better, how to make our channel better. So I just want to give them a quick shout out and give them their thanks. And yeah, let's get rocking. I wanted to talk about this 1-3 start, you guys, and who's to blame, because, of course, the number one guy is Josh McDaniels. That's the number one guy that people are going to look at because, he went out and got his quarterback. He went out and got the players that is on his team, and he still cannot get this team to winning games. And these 4 games have all been against the AFC conference, and they went 1-3 in that stretch. They got the Green Bay Packers, as we know, they're in the NFC, but these NFC games, I'm not going to lie, you guys, I really wasn't too worried about the NFC games in regards to the P word playoffs because it is mainly the AFC conference and our division that I was highlighting. But now we go into a Monday night game in a must-win situation to already keep our season alive. I know there's some fans out there that blame Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is leading the league in interceptions with 6 interceptions. You got Josh Jacobs, who has not been running well since his last season of being the top running back in the league. He has fell off. This offensive line has, they started the season off really well, giving up no sacks. In the running game, they couldn't perform. And now these past few weeks against the Steelers and the Chargers, the offensive line completely shut down by not really having an existing run game, even though against the Chargers in the second half, that run game started to pick it up. But the passing was still non-existent. 6 sacks given up to Khalil Mack, 7 total sacks. Aiden O'Connell had 4 total turnovers. This offense has been terrible, to say the least, in 4 games. And then on the defense side of the ball, the defense gets blown out by giving up 38 points to the Buffalo Bills. But other than that, they held up against the Steelers, giving up 23 points, having a shutout in the second half against the Chargers. But turnovers and sacks has still been an issue for this Raiders defense. They have not been able to get pressure on the quarterback. Max Crosby seems to be the only guy to get pressure, to get sacks. We finally have our first turnover of the season in Trayvon Merrick. I know we had other turnovers earlier in the season, but they've been wiped out on penalties. And that is another thing. Disciplined players. There is no discipline on this football team. The Raiders are getting hit with boneheaded penalties. So we are going to talk about it, you guys. Who is to blame for the 1-3 start for the Las Vegas Raiders? We're going to dive into all the facts that are out there, and I am going to leave it up to you, Raider Nation. You guys are going to be the ones to decide who's to blame. It is your opinion. Who is to blame for this 1-3 start? Is it McDaniels? Is it Jimmy Garoppolo? Is it the quarterback room? Is it the offensive line? Is it Josh Jacobs? Is it the defense? Is it Daniel Carlson? Is it the water boy? Is it, the cheerleader? Who is it, you guys? So let's dive right in right now. Salute to everybody. I want to acknowledge the chat real quick. See who's in the room. We got Sean Johnson, Ian Rapoport of Raider Nation. Salute to this man, you guys. Also want to give a shout out to Sean because Raiders Primos won't be anything without Sean also. Me and Sean have been all day, just shooting information left and right to get this live show ready for you guys, to make sure we are giving you guys facts and not just narrative, because that is what I wanted to bring. I want to bring facts to you guys, not just narrative. I fact checked them. Me and Sean, we go, we shoot information back and forth, making sure it is the correct information for you guys. Salute to Raider Geo in the building. Sean says maybe you can discuss what we was talking about earlier. And yes, Sean, we will. We will talk about, and it's basically what Raider Geo said right here. McDaniels makes his offense too damn complicated. But Raider Geo, I will also go along with saying Josh McDaniels is too predictable. I will say that too. That Raiders fan, salute to you. David Long cost Crosby a sack and extended the Chargers' drive to score. Unacceptable. And that's discipline, Raiders fan. That is discipline. Jason619. Josh is to blame. His game management, his play calling, his drafting, his lack of adjustments. I haven't seen any of these players coming out saying, hey, it's not on Josh, it's on us. Other than Jason, like Josh McDaniels, or not Josh, Josh Jacobs, Davante Adams. But Jason, I kind of agree with you on this, right? Because they are saying, hey, we need to get back to the film room. We need to get back to practicing harder, working harder. But they're saying it like, hey, I'm just saying it because, the blame is on us. The blame is on the players. I'm just saying it because, like, I have to say it, Like, that's the vibe I was getting out of those pressers from Josh Jacobs and Davante Adams post-game. I was like, these guys are saying it like they had to say it. Like, hey, it's our fault. And did you guys peep what Josh Jacobs said when he got asked this question? What did Josh McDaniels say to you guys after the post-game? He was like, pretty much it was the same thing, like, we got to work harder. We, like it basically, coach called the players out at post game that the players got to get back to work. The players got to practice harder. The players got to fix their problems. But I'm going to be honest, you guys, Josh McDaniels, you have a lot of accountability to take, my guy. And again, I don't want to sound biased here, but you know what? I'm going to let you guys know. Who do I blame? I blame Josh McDaniels. I do. But like I said, I also want to bring the facts. I just don't want to paint a narrative so you guys are like, oh, yeah, fire McDaniels, fire McDaniels. No, I want you guys to leave this live show with your own opinions from what you guys got. All right? We're going to do that tonight. Salute to Carlos and Fuego. He said facts. Penalties because the coach, he is a play caller, not a head coach. Raiders fire, yes. And I think we heard it around this whole week that Josh McDaniels is not a leader of men. And from what I'm hearing, the locker room is very divided. And it has to do with this 1-3 start. And Josh McDaniels also has to go with that. And Jason says exactly, they don't want to call out their coach. And that's the thing, Jason. That's the vibe I was getting. Like, I feel like they do want to call out their coach, but they want to keep things behind closed doors. They don't want to put it out there in the public because I don't know if you guys heard Marcus Peters. He liked an Instagram post, and the caption had it said "Fire Josh McDaniels," and Marcus Peters liked that, and social media took that, and it went everywhere. It blew up everywhere, and I'm telling you guys, I think this is why Josh Jacobs, maybe he does want to call out McDaniels. Davante Adams, maybe he does want to call him McDaniels, but they're not going to do it in public because the way media likes to stir shit up and they like to, twist their words, and they try to create problems within an organization just to create a story. So let's get right into it, you guys. Hondo Carpenter came out with an amazing video on YouTube. I think it was his recent video that he posted 2 days ago. I believe it was after the Chargers game. And shout out to RaidersBeat.com for they summarized it. On Sunday night, Carpenter gave a scathing review of McDaniels and the 1-3 Raiders during his Las Vegas Raiders Insider podcast. Hondo Carpenter said, and I quote, "This is on Josh McDaniels now. You all know I like him. Good man. Not calling for his firing. There's 13 games left, but all the eyes are on it. Everyone can see it. The Band-Aid is ripped off. You are 21 games in and your offense is horrible. Your player discipline is horrible. Your player execution is horrible. You have made some unbelievably terrible coaching decisions. All the spotlight is on McDaniels. I do not feel like he's lost the locker room, but I certainly don't feel like there is any trust at all. Fans have been calling for McDaniels to be fired since last year, but it would be a complicated maneuver to pull off during the season. McDaniels runs essentially every element of the offense, and his coaching staff doesn't feature anyone with experience as a head coach in the NFL. So I wanted to bring that up because, you guys, Hondo hits it right on the button. This is the and I know I was calling for his firing too after last game. Like, it was like I thought I woke up and I was just emotional after that loss. But no, I was like, no, I want him fired. Like, he needs to be fired. There's no excuses for you to make 2 back-to-back weeks. You make a poor coaching decision. You go for the field goal against the Steelers, and instead of going for it to tie the game when it was really late in the game, and you were hoping that our defense would make a stop instead of trying to tie the game. You then this week put a rookie quarterback in a terrible situation when the running game was starting to pick up, and you pass the ball on first down. You have 4 downs to play with, and you pass on first down. And you put a rookie quarterback in a situation that he should not even be in, instead of handing it off to Josh Jacobs and letting him fight for the 4 yards to tie this game up. You don't even give the Raiders a chance to tie this game. You take it out of the Raiders players' hands, and you want to, I don't know why you call a pass play. If it was for your ego, you want to prove the NFL, you want to prove the fans, you want to prove the players that you know it all, and you force Aiden O'Connell in a position that he should not even been in. And let's break this play down. Shout out to Raid the Tape. And I want you guys to know that Raid the Tape, if you guys don't follow him on YouTube, I don't know what you guys are doing. Go follow Raid the Tape on YouTube. He broke down that play. And I should have brought it up. I'm going to bring it up in a bit, you guys. That play, Josh McDaniels already ran it. He already ran it the drive prior. He ran the same exact play in back-to-back drives. So let's bring this up. I'm gonna bring this up, and we're gonna basically not really break this play down, but I want to show you guys something that I got from Ray the Tape. And again, salute to Ray the Tape for bringing this up. And you know what's crazy? Because now I just realized I have to actually find it. So give me a second, guys. Here. Let me get into more of your comments though before I get into it. Jason says, I don't want him fired. I don't want the revolving door at head coach. I want him to realize that what he's doing or the way he's preparing isn't working. You evolve or you fall off. I just want to win. And Jason, you're absolutely right. That's what I want to do too. I want to win. And right now we're 1-3 in back-to-back years. We're 1-3 in back-to-back years. And it's just not working. Like, that's the problem. It's just not working right now. But any given Sunday, the Raiders can win the next 2 games, and we're back to 3 and we're back to 3-3. We're back to 500 any given Sunday. But it's looking shaky right now. It's looking shaky. So let me bring this up, you guys. I think I just passed it. I'm pretty sure I just passed it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's break this down. And again, salute to Rate the Tape. You guys are probably not gonna want to watch this, but we're gonna break this down. Okay, let me share my screen here. Let me share my screen. Make sure you guys. Okay, you guys can see it. I'm a full screen here, so you guys can see it. So, as Rate the Tape pointed out, this is the interception, you guys. So, sorry for this being in the way. I don't know how to take that, if I can take that away without it playing. Guess I can't. I want to see. Okay, I can't. But Josh McDaniels ran this play the drive prior. So the Chargers essentially know what they're going to get. They get the exact same formation. The only difference is they have Trey Tucker. And Trey Tucker is basically going to run he's going to run in the back of the end zone. And I believe he is going to be the last read for Aiden O'Connell. But in the last play on the last drive, Devontae Adams essentially was going to block, and Jakobi Meyers is running this out route. Now, again, go rate the tape. In that play, in the last drive, Jakobi Meyers' head wasn't even turned around to the point where he was open, but Aiden O'Connell didn't throw it. He threw it away. It happens again. Jakobi Meyers' head doesn't even turn. But this time, Aiden is going to get baited, and he takes the bait. Asante Samuel is going to not even look at Adams based off this formation they're getting. Asante knows what play they're going to do. And this is where I go blaming Josh McDaniels. There's no creativity with your offensive play calling. Asante Samuel looks at Jakobi Meyers, not even looking at Adams. Let's let the play play out. If you guys can, I'm going to let the play out so you guys can see. Look at the bottom where Asante Samuel is at, and he is not even going to look at Adams. He's going to first look at Jakobi when the ball is snapped. When the ball is snapped, he's looking at Jakobi right here. Right when O'Connell does his rollout, his eyes are not to Adams. His eyes are to Jakobi, and they're to O'Connell. And he knows this ball is going to be thrown, which is why he sits right here, and it's an easy interception. But also to that, watch Jakobi Meyers, again, right here in the slot, doesn't even get his head around. He doesn't even get his head around. Now, I don't know what Jakobi was doing there. You're going to see it from the end zone view. Jakobi Meyers doesn't even get his head around, and that's a problem with me. That, for me, is coaching. His head isn't even around, and he's over there confused. Like, you threw the ball to me. It's like, bro, you are the flat route. Your head needs to be turned right as soon as you make this break out towards the outside. I don't know what he was looking at. So on this play, I blame Josh McDaniels and I blame Jakobi Meyers. But mainly going to Josh McDaniels because there's no creativity. There is no creativity there. And I want to give, again, Sean, a shout out. I want you guys to go check out this video. I'm going to put a link in the, I'm going to play it for you guys because it's not my video. I want to pause it because, again, not my video. And I'm going to send it to you guys in the chat. And I want you guys to go check it out. Because this is Ben Johnson. And this is a guy that is a candidate If Josh McDaniels is fired at the end of the season, this is the guy that many of Raider Nation is screaming to take over the head coaching position. And I watched it. I believe it's about like a 7-minute video. And salute to Sean for sending me that. That is creativity of offensive play calling that I want. It's not even about Josh McDaniels running the same play. Run the same play, but get creative with it. That's the problem. He doesn't get creative with it. You still have Jakobi Meyers as the hot read. And again, this is a rookie quarterback. Stop crapping on Aiden O'Connell for making a rookie mistake. He got baited. You guys are acting like not even veterans make that mistake. I've seen our former quarterback. I've seen Jimmy Garoppolo, Tom Brady, the best of the best, get baited. That's what Asante Samuel did. He knew the play call. He baited Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell took the bait, ended up in an interception. And that's what you do as a corner. Most of your interceptions are coming off of assuming and baiting the quarterback. And that's what Asante did there. He assumed and he was correct. The thing is, when you get cornerbacks and safeties assuming, you got to make them start guessing. And Josh McDaniels doesn't do that with his offense. But let's get into the offensive line, you guys. But before we do that, I want to get your guys' comments in. That Raiders fan says Mark Davis believes he's doing. Mark Davis feels like he is doing a fine job. McDaniels is sabotaging the Raiders, and Mark Davis is clueless. And that Raiders fan, I wouldn't say he's sabotaging the Raiders, but I will say it's looking like McDaniels doesn't know what the heck he's doing right now. He's 1-3 for the second straight year. He is 1-3 for the second straight year. And this was supposed to be a better team last year. And I said in the offseason, there's no excuse for Josh McDaniels because you drafted the quarterback you wanted in Aiden O'Connell. You went in free agency and you got the quarterback that fit your system. You went out and you got a ton of former Patriot players. You got Jakobi Meyers, a wide receiver who played in your system. You have one of the best wide receivers in Devontae Adams. You got Josh Jacobs coming off of a career year. There should be no issues with this offense, and yet this offense has yet to score 20-plus points. 20-plus points, you guys. This reminds me of the 2006 Oakland Raiders offense that was scoring 10 points a game. They were averaging, I believe, during that time. Jason says, we could hire Phillip Rivers as head coach, and as long as this team improves and it leads to wins, I'm good with it. Jason, that's my point too, man. Jason, that's a lot of people call me a hater. Like when it comes to our players and our coaching staff, I just want to win. I just want to win, and what we're doing right now is not working. Like, is that so bad that I want to win? Are we that used to losing that I can't criticize the coaching staff? I can't criticize the players because they're not doing anything to help the Raiders win? That Raiders, Jason goes on to say, I really want to know if Mark's hands are tied due to finances or if he looks back at the way his dad did things and is refusing to go down that road again. And Jason, we will never know. I don't really want to speak on this because I don't know. I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people bring up the finances that we're still paying John Gruden, that we're even possibly still paying Del Rio, which I don't think we're doing that. Definitely, I know we're paying John Gruden still. But Jason, I don't know. But he signed a 4-year deal, McDaniels did. He's in year 2. I could see Mark Davis running this thing out. Giving McDaniels 2 more years, letting him finish out his contract and, just riding it out, whether it's good or bad. And Jason, I don't like that because the same way as you, I want to win. I want to see this team succeed. And as of right now, I don't have a lot of hope. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't have a lot of hope with Josh McDaniels. And for guys who followed Raiders Primos knows me and Nate backed Josh McDaniels up. I wouldn't even say we made excuses. We even broke down film that it was like, man, players are not executing. And we had Josh McDaniels back. We're like, we need to give him at least 2 to 3 years to get this right. And if he doesn't get it right in 2 to 3 years, then he needs to be out. But he's 1-3. I said I want to see improvement. I'm not saying I want to see 12-5, 13-4, 14-3 record and make the division, make the AFC Championship or make the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. I was saying I want to see improvement from last year. My minimum was 11 wins, but I would be happy with 9 wins. Why? Because that's improvement. You won 6, you won 9. But right now, what Raider Nation is getting is the same product of last year, if not worse. We're getting worse. We're getting the same product in regards of how we lose games, 1-score games, but this offense is worse now. The defense seems like they're improving week to week, but the offense just seems like they're getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm glad my guy, Tyler Robb, showed up. Salute to you, man. He said tapping in, man, like number 6. And, man, Tyler Robb, right now it looks like you winning the debate in the Jimmy Garoppolo debate. And I think, actually, Tyler, you said he might have done well with the Raiders, but I don't know, man. Jimmy G ain't looking like he ain't looking like it. Carlos says Josh McDaniels' schemes are not innovative. Other players are calling out plays, and we've heard it from the Steelers, and I showed you guys there. Asante Samuel knows. He knew what play they were going to run. Right when his eyes hit the backfield and he sees Aiden rolling out, he sees Meyer coming on the out route. He lets Adams go. He hands him off. He hands Adams off to a linebacker, you guys. I think that was a linebacker or safety, but put this in perspective. He lets Adams get a one-on-one. That's how predictable this play calling is, that Asante Samuel Jr., he takes the risk of letting Adams get a one-on-one battle so he can get a pick. And the thing is, he was right. He was right to do that because that is how predictable Josh McDaniels' scheme is. It is not that it's hard. And you know what? These players may be right. It is hard. It's hard to learn. But you know what? I'm over here like, how hard is it to learn a predictable play calling? You're doing the same play, like the same exact play. The same exact play. Yeah, you add one more person, but it still is the same exact play. Same exact play. Salute to Super Omnicron says Josh McDaniels is using the same schemes. He needs to diversify the offense and involve the tight ends. Let Jimmy G hit the middle of the field. And you know what, Super? I agree with you. Like, me and Tyler Robb talked about it. Jimmy G's strength is hit in the middle of the field. That is where his strength is at, except Josh McDaniels is making Jimmy G hit the outside. That is not Jimmy G's strength. We know, I said it. I know Jimmy G's arm strength is not that great. I know, but where does he excel at? Where can Jimmy G excel in the Raiders offense? That is hitting the middle of the field. That is hitting these tight ends in stride in the middle of the field. Hitting Adams in the middle of the field. Hitting Renfrow in the middle of the field. Between the numbers, between tight windows, that is where Jimmy G excels. Instead, Josh McDaniels is making Jimmy G, or not really, I wouldn't say making, but he's calling plays for Jimmy G to hit outside the numbers. That's not Jimmy G's game. That's not Jimmy G's game. Could he get it to the outside? Yes. Maybe on curl routes, some ins, some outs. He could get it. But and I'll get that to Patrick Graham too. Because I said this about Patrick Graham. They don't scheme plays up in the strengths of our players. They don't scheme plays up in the strength of our players. Devontae Adams, what is his strength? It is yak. It is yards after catch. Why are we throwing up 50? Now, don't get me wrong. Adams is a dog in 50-50 balls. He's a dog. He will go up there, and it's not 50-50 for him. It is 70-30. But where is his strength at? Where is Adams most deadly at? It is yak yards. Why are you not? And he showed it against the Bills. Took a screen pass to the house. get Adams in space. And that is where he's going to excel at. That is where he will excel at. What is Renfrow known at? Renfrow's known for his route running. Get Renfrow on a lot of reverse routes. Reverse outs, reverse ins. Get him where his route running is his ability to get release. His hands are the best. Where is Michael Mayer? Michael Mayer, again, is another guy where his route running is his best. His jump ability is his best. His mismatch against linebackers. Utilize your strengths, Josh McDaniels, but you don't do that. You don't do that. Hammer talked about this, you guys. The I formation with Josh McDaniels excelled the Raiders' running attack last season. What did the Raiders do this season? Not call any I formation. They call a little bit. They have Jakob in there, but they don't utilize the I formation as they did last season. Again, calling plays to the strength of your players, and also attacking the weakness of the opposing team. Because I said this, Raiders did not. The reason they lost against the Steelers is they didn't attack the weakness. When me and Nate previewed this game before we went on to that watch party, me and Nate said the key to beating the Steelers was to run the football, have a balanced attack, and let Jimmy Garoppolo eat on play action. Raiders didn't do nothing of that. Could we not run the ball? We couldn't. But Josh McDaniels completely abandoned the run. Let's go back to it. I believe Jimmy G went over 40 attempts passing that game. That is a recipe for a loss. Jimmy Garoppolo was 28 for 44, you guys. 44 passing attempts to 17 carries for Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs should have got 20 or plus, maybe even 25 or plus. Why? Because the Steelers' weakness was their running game. It was their running game. And you're making Jimmy G throw the football all over the field like you were down by a whole lot the entire game. You were only down by 2 possessions. It was funny because, I'm not going to lie, you guys, it felt like we were down by multiple possessions because this offense couldn't get it together. Now, I'm not saying Josh McDaniels is entirely to blame for that Steelers loss because I get blamed to Jimmy G too. Get blamed to Jimmy G. But then let's go back to the running game because I've been kind of ranting. I told you it was Primo's rant today. But let's go to the running game because I think we've been, you know what, I want to get into more of these comments and I'll try not to rant because I want to acknowledge you guys. Shout out to Tal Rob. He said Raider Nation getting the same product they had in Oak, man. And this is facts, Tal. And the thing is, Tal, Raider Nation is not liking that our home stadium is getting sold out with opponents. What I'm telling you this is you're not going to put a sorry trash product on the field and expect Raider Nation to spend $2,000 to travel to Las Vegas. You're not going to get that, Mark Davis. You're not. You cannot put a trash product on the field and expect Raider Nation to spend $2,000. And people were like, well, how do you know it's $2,000? Why? Because I was planning to go to games in Vegas. And to take me and my girl, it was going to be $2,000. I can only imagine for fans that want to take their kids, want to take their family. I can only imagine how much they're spending. I'm not spending $2,000 when I could use that money to go have fun instead of spending a day watching a sorry team on the field. I'm going to be honest. I'm not spending $2,000 to go see a trash product on the field. Salute to Jason. He said, you have to give them time to install their schemes, their draft picks, and concepts. Year 1 is wash. Year 2 should be improvement. And year 3, no excuses. But Jason, let's be honest. Year 2, we're not seeing any improvement right now. Now, I get it. It's still early in the season. But it's the same record that we started off with last year. And the draft pick, Jason, Tyree Wilson is the only guy that I see probably actually getting a lot of reps. Michael Mayer has, 2 catches on the year, averaging 2 yards. Ja'Cory Bennett's the other guy that I'm getting that he gets, he's a starter. So him and Tyree are getting a lot of reps. Byron Young, see him, in there from time to time. Chris Smith was active. I didn't really see him a lot. Who else? Amari Burney was inactive. Nesta Jade was in there. Showed some good showings before he got injured. My point is, Jason, they draft guys for development. When we're seeing 31 other teams draft and they plug and play and they ball out, when are the Raiders going to hit on draft picks? And I don't want to question Ziegler because he's another guy that I backed up last year, and I even backed up in the offseason. But Ziegler, your draft class is looking sorry right now. Why? Because they're not even half of your draft class ain't even playing. And you traded one of your draft picks from last year this year to the Chiefs. Zamir White not even getting a lot of burn. Brenton Brown isn't even active. So, Jason, their draft picks are non-existent right now. The schemes are not working. But I agree with you. I think it was you, Jason. Someone else said it, that you want to give Josh McDaniels time to figure it out and like, hey, my scheme is not working. Let me try something different. The thing is, Jason, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen Josh McDaniels. It's the same thing week to week to week. It's the same thing. Answer me this, Jason. We can't score 20-plus points in 4 games. You know what's crazy, guys? The Dolphins last week scored 70 points. The Dolphins scored more points in 1 game than the Raiders have scored all season. Let that sink in. The Dolphins scored more points in 1 game than the Raiders have scored all season. Let that sink in. Yes, but 1-8 or something happens, might have to do some things. I don't know if Davis can afford to pay 3 coaches, Gruden, Josh McDaniels, and the new coach who replaces him. I didn't even think about that, Super. Wonderful, wonderful comment. Shout out to Road King popping in the building. Just wondering why we are not possible candidates for Justin Fields and so focused on just tanking and going for Caleb. Shaking my head. Fields could possibly need a fresh start. He could, Road King, but I'm going to be honest. He's more of a runner than he's a passer. Not saying he doesn't have an arm, but if you watch his game, and maybe you're right, Road King, maybe he just needs a fresh start, and we'll see what he brings in the passing game. Because running ability, yeah, he is phenomenal. Passing ability, they don't really call a lot of pass plays with the Bears. Now, again, I don't know if that's because of the way he plays or that's up to coaching. But, yeah, maybe, Road. And you know what's crazy? I talked to Sean, and we talked about, hey, maybe Caleb Williams would be a perfect fit here. And you know what's crazy? Graph said it best. Graphic Raider said it best. We won't have to tank. Why? Because Raiders are playing like crap now. Raiders can just go out there, play their game, and they'll find a way to lose. We don't have to tank. Raiders will do it themselves. Also, would Gruden be an option to come back? Shit, Mark already paid him. And the thing is, Road King, Gruden was here, and I think it was really big due to Derek Carr. Now, can we say Gruden can get the same production out of this offense without a Derek Carr? Maybe, but I think I can't lie, Derek Carr looked like he was flourishing under John Gruden as years went on. And even in 2021, Derek Carr looked like he was about to have an MVP candidate season under John Gruden. But now that Derek Carr's not here, John Gruden may have to start over again. And it may be an actual rebuild. And I don't know about you, Road King. I'm not for a rebuild, like a full rebuild. I'm for, if you lose this season, okay, you lose this season. But I want improvement next season. I want playoffs next season. I don't want we got to wait another 3 to 4 years. Like, I'm done with that. Am I used to losing? I'm getting there. But I'm just tired of being the laughingstock at the time, especially now that we're in Las Vegas. You got the Aces, who are a championship team. You got the Knights, who are a championship team. The Raiders now have a standard to live up to in Vegas, and that's to be a winning organization. If you're not a winning organization in Vegas, you're just the laughingstock of the league. And I don't know about you, Road King. I'm tired of being the laughingstock of the league. I'm tired of it. Jason says, I agree. You can't get worse every year and keep doing things the same way. Mark needs to have a talk and tell him we need to adjust or we make changes. What you're doing isn't working. I agree. Van City, Primos. We traded one clown for another clown. That wasn't part of the deal. You're right, Van City. You're right. Jason says the only thing Fields brings is his legs. This kid makes bad decisions when throwing the ball, and behind our own line, he's going to throw more picks. And Jason, that's what I'm thinking. Is I feel like when I watch Fields, he's more known for his running ability than his passing ability. I have yet to see him like where I've seen a game and his passing ability like took over. I have yet to see it. And I think the Bears are going to move on from Justin Fields. They likely are going to be in the running for Caleb Williams also. Salute to Raider Lux coming in the building. What truly makes me sick is that no matter how bad we are, the nation was going crazy till the game ended. In these last two games, blah, 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 I lost my voice in Vegas and definitely killed it in LA. And Raider Lux, Raider Nation's always going to when they're in the building, you're going to know Raider Nation's in the building. And that's the thing, Raider Lux. We're just so passionate about this team that we wish that we can get the passion that we have as fans. And not saying that the players don't, because I do believe the players have it, but at least from this coaching staff, at least from the front office, even from Mark Davis, I wish we could get some of that passion from them. That there's like because you can see the passion from Devontae, the passion from Josh, the passion from Max Crosby. They're like how you're sick and tired of how bad we are. They're the same way. Max Crosby said, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of missing the playoffs. Josh Jacobs said, I'm tired of losing. Devontae Adams said, I'm tired of us coming out and losing these close games. When are we going to hear that from Josh McDaniels? Because all I hear from Josh McDaniels, we just got to get back to drummer. They're a better team. We tried that. Josh McDaniels, we don't know. But when are you going to be tired of losing also? I didn't want Tyree because we need a defense tackle, and Mayer will get better. Time will tell, Jason. Time will tell. Ziegler and McDaniels think they're smarter than the rest of the league, but Gruden and Mayock were trash at the draft too, and they were. That's a fact. It's a fact, Jason. Raider Luck said, one question I would love Hondo to ask McDaniels is, do you not trust your own system? You know what, Raider Lux? I wish they did ask these hard-hitting questions. Or is it because you weren't given the players you wanted? Because coming into the team, we needed a right tackle and a DT, and you have none. And Raider Lux, that's their own fault. Raider Lux. Because I think they knew what we needed. They knew we needed a right tackle. They knew we needed a defensive tackle. Didn't address either one. They addressed the defense tackle, but that was late in the draft. Van City said, in no way, shape, or form do we need a full-on rebuild. We have more than enough talent here. We just need a coaching staff to develop and lead them. We're missing some pieces for sure, but we don't need to tear it to the ground. That's where I'm at, Van City. I don't want to tear it to the ground. Because like you said, we have talent here. It's not like we don't. That's what's crazy, you guys. It's like we're 1-3, and we have one of the best running backs in the league, one of the best wide receivers in the league, possibly could be a top 10 offense. It's just like, bro, why are we 1-3? We have so much talent on this team, and we're 1-3. Chris Jones, salute to you, man, for popping in. If Caleb Williams isn't available, if we have a top 3 pick, I would trade back to get more draft picks and draft an offensive tackle with the first pick and get defensive for the rest. Now, Chris, switch offenses to defensive, and I agree with your comment. And here's why. I know I said the defense has been improving, but they're still like, I'm gonna keep it 100. They're still not getting pressure. Max Crosby is still the only guy that's actually getting sacks. Like, yeah, Tyree Wilson is got a little pressure last game, but There's still we still need a dominant defensive tackle. And I feel like Chris, next year's draft, unless you address it in the free agency and you pick up a solidified defensive tackle in free agency, then yeah, you could skip over the defense tackle in the first round. But I think with the first pick, if you don't address the defensive tackle position in free agency, you gotta go with the defensive tackle in the draft. You can't you need what we need to stop doing, Chris? We need to stop putting more money and more of our attention to the offense because, like I said, we put so much money to the offense, so much attention to this offense to score less than 20 points a game. When we have a defense that is, in my opinion, overperforming than what they are, the money that we put into the defense, the attention that we put into the defense, they are overperforming. And I know people are like, bro, what are you talking about? We're not getting sacks. We're not getting pressures. We're not getting turnovers. But how many of those guys on the defense side of the ball is getting paid top tier money other than Maxx Crosby? Let me ask you guys that. Other than Maxx Crosby, who's getting paid elite money, top money on that defense side of the ball? Once you give me that, if it's more than the offense, which the offense has Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfrow, and Davante Adams. And I think Kolton Miller also. That's 4 guys. On the defense side, Maxx Crosby is the only guy. And yeah, Chandler Jones, but we released him. And I think we are going to get that money back because of the whole situation. But outside of Maxx Crosby, who else is getting top money to play defense? Who else? Oh, and Jakobi Meyers. I forgot about him because isn't he getting over $10 million a year? We need Kool-Aid, McKenzie, or Kalen King, cornerback, or Johnny Newton, defensive tackle. I'm going to keep that in mind, Chris, because I haven't been watching much of the draft for next year, but I definitely am going to be looking at it. If the season gets worse and worse, Chris, yeah, I'm going to start doing my research on these guys. Fancy said I would personally fly to Vegas to slap Mark Davis in the face. You go out there and hire the right GM and head coach that can work with what we have. My hope is Tom Brady can help him make the right decision. And that's one thing, too. You got Tom Brady as the minority owner. I hope Brady is in Mark Davis's ear. One play that got me mad was when we punted it back to the Chargers when we have a kicker called DC who would have thrived from an indoor stadium. I remember that, Ray Deluxe. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. Him not taking a chance on a 55-yard field goal as if Daniel Carlson doesn't make that in his sleep. And it's stuff like that where I'm just like, bro, Josh McDaniels, you're making it hard to back you up. Because for me, it's not even just his play calling, but coaching decisions. That's a coaching decision. You don't send one of the best kickers of the NFL out there to try to get a 55-yard field goal. I don't understand it, you guys. I don't understand it. Tyler Robb, this comes from a Niner fan. He said no reason for a full rebuild. It's facts. Trying to catch up, you guys. Van City said, anyone got any of them Josh McClowney's emails asking for a friend, bro? Van City, you always be making me laugh, man. Raider Luck said Chris Jones is a free agent next year. There's a lot of defensive line help next year. Just depends on Zigzag to actually address our needs, not overstack the offense for nothing. And Raider Luck's I think me personally, maybe get a right tackle or right guard. Other than that, I don't think we really need to address the offense much. I really don't. And then a quarterback. Maybe, and I would say I would say start Aiden O'Connell for the rest of the year. Why? Because I want to see what we can get out of the kid. One game is not going to tell me what we can get out of the kid. It's not. I want to see what can we get out of Aiden O'Connell in multiple games. 13 games I think will be enough for you to decide, do we even try to take a chance on this kid? Or do we try to go after a generational quarterback in Caleb Williams? And that's if you have the number 1 pick. Because if you don't, I'm telling you guys right now, if they don't have the number 1 pick, they got to sell the farm to get that number 1 pick. They do not got the number 1 pick. We're not getting Caleb Williams. telling you guys that right now. If the Raiders do not have the number 1 pick, for them to get Caleb at that point, they got to trade like the farm. They got to trade the farm. Chris says, Jerron Newton from Illinois is a monster. He's a defensive tackle. He led college in pressure even more than Tyree Wilson. This guy, Jerron Newton, is really good at block shedding. Chris, if you compare that with Max Crosby, if he brings that to the next level, bring that to Max Crosby, bring that to Tyree Wilson into the interior of the defense, we might have our solidified defensive tackle of the future. And if Caleb isn't there, I can see them pulling the plug on Drake May. The only thing that worries with me about you guys with Drake May, and I know Graf touched it on a little bit, is that he doesn't have a lot of talent where he's at now. Because I seen that, I was like, man, he has digressed heavily to the point where I believe they have him as a 10th ranked quarterback coming out of college next year. And one thing that, and I'm not saying he can't translate that talent to the next level, because I know he has talent, but for me, it's like, if you're that so-called like elite quarterback or that next quarterback, shouldn't you be elevating talent? Because that is one thing from a quarterback that I want to see is, can you elevate talent that is around you? You may not have the best talent around you, but can you elevate the talent? Now, I will say this, Super, I haven't seen a lot of the film on Drake May this season. I've seen some games and I'm like, bro, what is going on out there with him? He doesn't look comfortable. But you got guys like I said, Davante Adams. If you bring any quarterback into the offense they have now, the coaching for me is the only problem that can mess the quarterback position up. The coaching is the only guy that can mess the quarterback position up. Because there should be no reason why your quarterback is struggling. For me, I'm going to be honest. DC struggling last year. I thought he was going to have probably a better season with New Orleans. I was wrong. Jimmy G and Aiden O'Connell having terrible games under Josh McDaniels. For me, I'm like, okay, Josh, you had 3 different quarterbacks under your belt with the same, almost basically the same weapons, other than Waller being gone. But you still have Renfrew, you have Adams, and you add more pieces to this offense, and these quarterbacks still can't get shit done. To me, that's more like of a coaching error right there. That's more of a coaching error. And I like that, Ray Deluxe. If Caleb's gone, then yeah. Super says, good idea. Have lock shutdown corner, Max Crosby level, defense tackle, interior right. That's what I want to attack defense, you guys. I want to attack the defense. And I get it. I said this defense and let me bring it up, you guys, actually. And I think I brought it up in the short. Let me see. Hopefully I got the screenshot of it. I don't think I do. But there was a graphic, and salute to Sean because he showed me it, and I actually probably could pull it up, where he said this defense, they held Justin Herbert to his lowest yardage in a game since 2021. Let me see if I can find it. I'll be sending me so many stuff, you guys. Let me see. I don't know what happened to it. But the defense shut Justin Herbert down. They only allowed him. They gave him his worst completion percentage at 59%, and they intercepted him one time. His interception to touchdown ratio was the worst in his career against the Raiders. So the defense, they balled out. And like I said, it looks like they're getting better and better as weeks go on. But this offense is just falling. Now, the offensive line, they gave up 7 sacks. Jermaine Illuminor giving up 6 sacks to Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack had a field day. That is not going to help your offense out, is when your offensive line is giving up 7 sacks in a game. And Aiden O'Connell, the one thing I will knock on him for is he's holding the ball too long. One thing we did not see in preseason, he was getting the ball out quickly. But against the Chargers, he held the ball too long. Josh Jacobs, again, kind of had a rough outing against the Chargers, but in the second half, the running game started to pick up, which I was happy to see. But again, outside of that, the running game picking up in regards with this O-line, they still could not block for Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell had 3 fumbles. He had that 1 interception, 4 total turnovers. That is not going to win you football games. So, yes, I will pin, the turnovers on Aiden O'Connell. But again, are you going to pin the loss on the coach that has proved that this offense is not, no matter who's at the quarterback position, it seems this head coach cannot figure it out? Or are you really going to just crap on a rookie quarterback? Are you really going to crap on a rookie quarterback that it was his first game in the NFL? And despite all the turnovers, he still brought the Raiders back in a position to tie the game. Down 24-7, he still brought the Raiders back. That is thanks to the defense for holding up and not allowing the Chargers to score at all in the second half. And he still brought them back, you guys. And that is what when the defense gives you a chance to come back into a game as the quarterback, you bring your team back into the game. And that is what O'Connell did. And he could have brought them all the way back if it wasn't for a play call that should never been called. Should have never been called. You guys. Should never been called. Should never been called. I want to see. I'm looking for. And this is another thing that I've seen. Shout out to Sean. He said Raiders are the only team to score fewer than 20 points every game this season. The Patriots and Saints have not scored more than 20, but they have reached 20, you guys. But they haven't scored more than 20 points. You got Jimmy Garoppolo, Mac Jones, and Derek Carr, the starting quarterbacks of those teams. And all 3 of them have not got, or Raiders are the only team that haven't even got to 20 points. You know what, Sean? I'll make it worse. We haven't scored 19 points. We haven't scored over 19 points. Like, this is sad, bro. This is sad. Bro. So much talent on this offense, and we don't have we should be having a top 10 offense, and we can't. This is, bro. Oh, yeah. And then Josh McDaniels lying to a reporter saying, because they asked him about Khalil Mack having those 6 sacks, and Josh McDaniels saying, oh, we doubled him, the entire game. When the stats came out, Khalil Mack was only doubled 3% of his snaps the entire game. You didn't double Mack, Josh McDaniels. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Welcome, everybody, to the chat. If you guys do not subscribe yet, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the like on the way in. Also, hit the bell. Guys, we are 13 subs. I believe we are 13 subs away. Let me check it out. I believe we're 13 subs away from 400. We are actually 4 subs away, you guys. We are 4 subscribers away from 400. Share the channel around. Share with your friends. Share with your family. Share with your co-workers. Share with anyone who likes to talk Raider football. Anyone who likes to talk football in general. They could be a Raider fan. They don't have to be a Raider fan. Anyone who likes to talk football, because I like talking football in general also. Over here at Raiders Primos, we talk mainly Raider football, but there is times we do talk just regular football, you guys. So share. We are 4 subs away from hitting 400. And then after that, guys, we are going to hit a milestone of 500 subscribers. Thanks to the nation. Thanks to you guys. I appreciate you guys. I know Nate appreciate you guys. We cannot say thank you enough for getting Raiders Primos where it is at. So yes, please share. We are 4 stubs away from hitting 400. Share. Chris says if we stick with Aiden O'Connell, we should draft Joe Out or Illuminawa, who are the best tackles since Penna Sewell. We need a right tackle. Our quarterback needs protection. Look what the Seahawks did. We do need protection, Chris. But I think get right tackle, get a right guard. Maybe in the second round, Chris. Like let's say we want to stick with Aiden. I think you use the first round pick on defense, and then maybe use that second round pick on a tackle or right guard. He said the Seattle Seahawks drafted Charles Cross and drafted Abraham Lucas after they traded Russell Wilson, and the team exploded. They had a good wide receiver core like we do. I'm just saying. And yeah, Chris, I'm not disagreeing with you, man. Not disagreeing with you. I just think we should go get a tackle or guard in the second round because I want to see us get sacks. I want to see us create pressure so we can get some more turnovers, get some more interceptions. And I think you got to use that. If you don't address the defensive tackle, the interior of the defense in free agency, you got to go in the draft in the first round. Raider Lux says, I'll make it worse. We haven't had a game without giving up an interception. Wow. I didn't even think about that, Raider Lux. You're right. You're absolutely right. Every game. I think every game dating back to, bro, hold up. I got to check this real quick because in the last game in 2022, did Stidham get, let me see. I got to see if Stidham got, let me see. Sorry about that, y'all. I've been a little sick around here, but like I said in the short, Stidham did throw an interception. So hold the phone, bro, Raider Lux. I know he threw an interception week 16 or week 17. Week 16, Derek Carr had the 3 interceptions. 15, he had that 1 interception against the Patriots. Let me see. That's week 14. That's 2020. I want to see 2022. What did we play in week 14 in 2022? Keep saying, let me see, 2022 schedule. Because who did we play in week 14? Who did we play in week 14? Let me see. Oh, wait. I'm done. I'm stupid here. I'm over here hecka stupid. I had the Chiefs versus. Oh, we played the Rams. So had an interception in that game. So what? We're on. What are we on? We're on. Let's see. We had 4 games dating back to last year. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because week 13 was the Chargers. We had an interception in that game. 11 because we played the Seahawks in week 12. So we're at 11. Bro, can I see the stats to this game? Come on. Come on, Google. What's going on here? All right. It's not helping me out here. Let me see. I want to see this box score. If you can let me get it. Let me see this box score, you guys. Because week 11 was against the Broncos. I'm about to make this worse, Raider Lux. So 11 games. 11 games has been since a Raiders quarterback has not thrown an interception, Raider Lux. 11 games it has been since a Raiders quarterback has not thrown an interception. The last time a Raiders quarterback did not throw an interception was against the Broncos last year when we won 22-16 in week 11. In week 11, y'all. That's crazy. That is crazy to me. And again, is he going to go to Josh McDaniels? I don't know. Jason says, I like what I saw in AOC. He wasn't tap dancing in the pocket. He made the throws when they counted and got multiple people involved. He has to work on his timing and pocket awareness. And Jason, you know what's crazy? Is that Aiden needs more reps. That is the thing. He's only going to learn the more game, the more time he has played. But the thing is, Josh McDaniels is going to send Jimmy G out there if he's ready to go. You know that. The thing is, Aiden isn't going to learn. And the thing is, I'll be honest, I wouldn't want Aiden I want Aiden to play the rest of the season, but at the same time, I don't. I want him to learn from the sideline. And then next season, learn from his mistakes. Because I don't want his confidence to get shot. That he goes out there, we have a losing record, he's turning over the football, he's getting sacked, and his confidence is just, at an all-time low. I don't want that for Aiden. I would rather him learn from the sideline, watch Jimmy G operate, and he learns that way. But from what we've seen last game, who knows? I think this, Jason, I think he needed to have a really good game, Jason, in order for them to be like a quarterback controversy. He had to have a good game. He had to have a good game. I'm gonna get some more comments in here, you guys, because like I said, I think Graph and Wasted, they've been live for almost 40 minutes, and I don't want to take up any more time that they have over there. Chris says, do you think we should get a cornerback with the first round? Look at the Seattle Seahawks. Devin Witherspoon. I like Kool-Aid McKinstry is like 6'1" cornerback and 5'11". Both got that dog that we need. Chris, actually, I'll say this. I know I said I want to go DT in the first round, but any defense. I'm willing to say any defense, Chris. If they got to go get a cornerback, I'm cool with that. Any defense. Any defense, Chris. Any defense. Any defense. Raider Lux, that's 4 different quarterbacks, and I only see one common denominator. And it's that McDaniels try system. And Raider Lux, I can't disagree with you, man. And Raider Lux, because me and you debated about Josh McDaniels. And I debated against you that, hey, let's keep McDaniels around. I can't debate with you on that one. Sorry, Primo, with a good draft class with a lot of quarterbacks, we need to see if the rookie is him or not. And Raider Lux, that's why I said I'm 50-50. Because if he balls out, that's cool. But if he doesn't, maybe, got to draft a quarterback next season. But I'm tired of the defense not getting looked at. And a lot of people are crapping on this defense when the defense can only do so much. They're holding they're holding teams outside of that Bills game. They're holding teams under 25 points. Outside of that Bills game, they held the Steelers, the Chargers, and the Broncos under 25 points. But what I want to get, Raider Lux, I want to get sacks. I want to get turnovers. But I can see we also do need a quarterback that can put up points because, the defense they held 3 out of the 1 team under 25, but all 4 times your offense has scored average 15.5 points. That's not going to win you football games. That is why we're 1-3 right now. Look how the Jets defense, we went from average to great since they drafted Amenhot and Sauce Gardner. Like I said, Chris, any defensive player, man. Any defensive player. But like Raider Lux said, do we go defense? Like, it's like you got to pick your poison. Yeah, Raider Lux, he might be a solid backup. But what we need is like you said, we need a generational starter. And Caleb Williams is that guy. Drake, like you said, it's a deep quarterback class. You got to take a chance on one of these guys coming out of the draft next season if your season is a loss. But we also want to have for me, I don't want a dominant defense. I want a defense that improves each year, that we see sacks, we see interceptions, and that number goes up. We see the ranking in the defense go up. Right now, I think the Raiders defense is ranked 18th right now, you guys. And for me, that's a huge improvement. Is the turnovers there? No. Is the sacks there? No. But they go from 30th last year to so far being 18th in 4 games. That's an improvement. What I want to see is continuous improvement. That's all I wanted this season is improvement. And I see it a little bit with the defense each game, but this offense, you guys, this offense like gets hard to watch at times. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This offense gets hard to like just watch at times, man. It really gets hard to watch. Last comment before we get out of here. Chris Jones says, I would say cornerback with the first because this cornerback class is slim in talent. This is a good defensive tackle class. And from what I'm hearing, Chris Jones, this is the deep quarterback class too. So, yeah, maybe you need to take a chance at cornerback because there's a lot of talent at the defensive tackle and the quarterback position. But the thing is, Chris, if you have the number 1 pick, you still taking a defensive player? I mean, I will say this, Chris, because I feel like maybe we may agree on this. If we have the number 1 pick, that means we were outright terrible. We were the worst team in the NFL. That, like, you get the number 1 pick, you got to go get Caleb. But if we're in the top 5, like number 4, 5, 6, that's where it's like, man, do you go quarterback? Do you go corner? Do you go, like, I'm glad I am not Ziegler. And who knows? If we have a top 5 pick, might not even be here. Jason said that's why you pick the best defensive tackle, not the best of the worst class. Well, we'll see when that time comes. And then you know what's sad, you guys? We're talking draft and we're talking next year when we're 1-3 and it's an early season. Still early season because that's like I said earlier, Raiders could win 2 straight games and we could go 3-3. We could go 3-3. It's crazy that we're talking draft, we're talking free agency, talking next offseason when it's still early in the season. That's sad, you guys. That's very sad. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. You guys go check out Raider Nation Unlimited featuring Wasted Talent and Oak Las Vegas Network. They are live, I believe. I believe they're still live. Let me check. Yeah, they are still live. Big Mike Raider is live. Let me check. Yeah. Big Mike Raider, I think, is still live. Let me check because I think no, he's not. But yeah, Oak Las Vegas Raiders Network is still live. Graph and Wasted, they're both still live. So go check them out on YouTube. I'm gonna go check them out. Those are my guys. Always bringing the fire with them lives. So salute to you guys all pulling up. Salute to Chris, Raider Lux, Jason. Let me see. I want to get Sean, Super Omicron. I know there's Van City, Tile Rob. I want to salute to everyone commenting, keeping it, getting all the questions in. You guys make the show happen. Salute to Road King. Salute to Carlos, that Raiders fan. Salute to everyone that pulled up, got the comments in. Guys, hit that subscribe button. We are I believe, let me see where we at. Let me see where we are at. Last time I checked, we are 3 subs away from 400. So hit that subscribe button, share. Hit the like on the way out. Hit that bell so you're not late to the next live show. So you know when we drop new videos, some new content for you guys. Salute to everybody, and I'll see you guys later in the next one. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace.